Today, of course, in this panel, we wanted to explain where this dialogue lies within the framework of the relationship between the United States and Qatar. I think the main things that was said on this panel today, first, that this dialogue is not an isolated event. It's actually part of a continuous relationship that's more than 45 years old between Qatar and the United States.
When you look at the GCC crisis over the past almost 7 months, this crisis almost came to the point of military action, and to see that crisis diffused, to see it lead to a positive change where the country most targeted has managed to basically engage in a strategic dialogue, raise the level of its bilateral relationship with the United States to the highest level possible of an American ally. To me, that is a big achievement, and I think basically we wanted our audience to understand what led us in that direction, and particularly in light of the possibility that this can serve as a pattern for other countries.
Today's discussion would be considered as a landmark for the relation between Qatar and USA. Plus, it reminds us of the long history of friendship between both countries. As I stated in the panel, it's not Qatar's first rodeo, so it dates back to way back in the history. But now it's like an assurance.
My main goal was to sketch out what U.S. foreign policy goals are for the entire Middle East region, and then situate the US-Qatari relationship within that conversation in the context of the strategic dialogue between Qatar and US that's happening this week in Washington. I made several points. I think one of the main ones is that there isn't unanimity within the U.S. administration, but there's a set of views within the defense intelligence community. There's another set of views within the State Department and some of the other, let's say, engagement and development, refugee, those types of organizations. And then another set of views in the conservative foreign policy establishment connected to people in the White House.
And I think that we as Qataris, when we come here to DC, we'd like to explain that Qatar is not, as its stereotypical vision of it, it is not a supporter of extremism, it is not a supporter of terror, it does not go against American ideals. Qatar is a sovereign state, it has its own foreign policy, it has its disagreements with the various American administrations, but it's still a respecting member of the international community that works toward peace and stability internationally.
Our purpose as a center focusing on the Arab world and focusing on U.S. relations with the Arab world, we will continue to focus on the range of issues. The U.S., of course, is engaged with at least, of course, 22 different Arab entities. Some of these relationships are positive, some are not. So anytime we shed some light on that relationship, we feel we are fulfilling our mission and our purpose. So our activities will continue to do so.